Hi guys, welcome back to LPB Racing for the historic Open Wheel Championship on Project Cars 2. We are ready for a start here at round 3 at Spa Historic for race 1 in the Lotus 49C 5-lap sprint race, and then the next race after this is a 10-lap pit stop race. So let's take you through the grid order then. So it's Sarex from Bidzster, Neil, Spapper, Andrea are your top 5, so let's get ready for a start here at Spa. Revs rise on the downhill, got to be careful not to jump the start, and off we go! Everyone's squirming for grip down towards Eau Rouge. Eau Rouge with a bit of a different look. It's a lot tighter with the barrier on the inside, and then up and over the hill. Sarex in the lead then. We've got a few people further back. And oh, big contact already, but massive crash. Something's happened back there. TY's gone round, and Andrea as well. Arzadar is involved in that, so is Bradders and Stacker, so everything happening there as the rest of the field come up towards the top of the hill to Camel Corner, because it's not the Camel Straight, it's Camel Corner now, into the Camel Corner, and oh, Blake into the wall, and everyone else through, so it's Sarex in the lead from Bidzster, Neil Farmack, and then a massive crash further back as well, Blake and Spapper, I think that is, so everyone really struggling with this car, and not the most cleanest start to an LPB race, but hey ho, as Arzadar goes straight through the middle there, takes advantage. As Sarex and Bidzster then running side by side, Bidzster's into the wall as he tried to run side by side with Sarex. That didn't really work out very well, and Neil Farmack will go through as well. There he goes. So Sarex in the lead from Bidzster. Sorry, from Sarex, from Neil, from Bidzster. Then we've got Callum and Arzadar back here, and Spapper as well is really close to Arzadar. As Stevie and Spapper go and hit the wall, and just bouncing off the walls. Embarrassing stuff really, but yeah, these cars hard to handle, and obviously the track very fast and flowing. This is what F1 drivers had to deal with years ago, so it's really close racing. It's not just close racing, it's really daredevil stuff, because look, if you crash into a house. It's not exactly an Armco barrier, but Andrea slows up there, must have a problem of some sort. So meanwhile, Bidzster in second place then, he was alongside Neil, so we've got Sarex in the lead. His teammate Neil behind Bidzster, so Bidzster separating them both. In second place, down the hill, up towards the long bank corner, really fast section, just down one gear, really fast and flowing this bit. Really good average speed. As we look at hit back here, we've got a good little battle back here. We've got, I think that's Blake and Andrea side by side, so Bradders and Andrea side by side, I think. So, oh, wow! Bradders, massive contact into the wall, and then goes further back. So not the cleanest race so far for everyone, but well, never mind. As we look at Stacker, is that sorry, Blake and Andrea, I think it is. Yep, there we are. So Blake and Andrea, the two teammates, closing up on Stacker, and I think that's Blake going for the inside and gets straight past Stacker. And Stacker's going backwards here, not really got as much pace than the others. Andrea goes through just behind as well, you can see just behind there. Andrea goes through, but he does hit the wall, but I think he's safer through anyway. So Bidzster in third then, so Neil has pulled away, so Bidzster must have made a mistake somewhere. So again, we'll get replays after this first lap of all the first lap action for you. As Bidzster goes over the grass a little bit there, it's going to lose him a bit of time. There goes Callum, Spapper. There's Arzadar going a bit wide as well. Here's Stevie, there's Stevie going through. Blake, Stacker, Andrea, all through shot. Then we've got, oh, there's Andrea. So it's Stevie, Blake and Stacker that are close together, I think. Or, there's Stevie, and there's Blake, Stacker, and here we go. Into the corner, Stacker and Andrea close together. Oh, close stuff there. So as the leaders go over the line, we'll get those replays in now. Okay guys, let's have a look at what happened on the first corner then. So let's go to slow motion on board with Callum to piece it together. So we're going up towards Eau Rouge on board with Callum. Watch Andrea and Spapper further ahead in 4th and 5th. See the front lot Constantina up, Neil goes wide, Spapper then brakes to avoid him. Andrea goes onto the grass, but because Spapper's lost speed, these guys are coming up over the top. Arzadar's in front of us, he hits Spapper, and then Callum, poor Callum, has nowhere to go. Bang! Hits the car in front, spins round, and then that makes another car, Stacker I think, hits contact with him, and then Stevie gets involved, and TY unfortunately, or TY fortunately gets through, I think. But then you can see Stacker going up and over the top, and then you can see back there Arzadar and Bradders coming through. Okay, now let's have a look at that again. So we're watching Callum, but let's have a look at full speed from the outside cameras and see how much dramatic it was. So up and over the top, then there's an accident in front, bang, we hit Arzadar, bang, Stacker goes flying in the air, and then that's where we rejoin it from, and then Bradders has nowhere to go. And now another view from that, from looking at Andrea. So Andrea goes wide onto the grass, goes onto the hay bales, and then watch this, goes on to, back onto the track, hits the hay bales there, and then hits TY. So that was a bit of a late hit, but again, they turn the cars around and then rejoin. And now here's an onboard from TY, so you can see all the pack going up here. This is going to get messy up here, and then it does, and then luckily there's a gap for us, but then watch Andrea, hits the wall, bang, straight into us. So they didn't really beat the road very well there, Andrea, but it all happened a bit quick. There goes Callum and Arzadar. Andrea gets the car spun round, we wait for Stacker, and then we turn round as well. Okay, here's what happened further on at the Kemmel corner, and so Blake goes wide, Spacker goes and knocks a few of those cones over. Blake runs wide, then hits the wall, bang, comes across. We spin in the middle of the pack, bang, we collect another car, Stevie, we collect one car, and then we collect another one as well. I think that might have been Blake. So yeah, collecting a few cars there, then we all continue. Okay, here's another look at that from Stevie's car. So you saw Spapper go off there, Blake's run wide into the wall, then Stevie slides and has nowhere to go once those other two make contact, and then Blake and Spapper go round, so does Stevie, and then we all continue. Okay, here's a replay what happened to Bradders then. So he's side by side with Blake on the left hand side in front. He goes around the outside, goes too wide, and in contact with Blake, bang, and then goes straight above us. So as we come back from all that first lap mayhem, Spapper and Callum up over the top, then Callum closing in on Spapper there. Just get rid of the camera there so you can see the full picture, because obviously the cameras are a bit zoomed out on this sometimes, or too zoomed in. Obviously I've complained about the cameras before, so I'm not going to go on about it too much, but still, up and over the top then. Spapper in front of Callum into the Kemmel corner as the bollard goes flying. That was Bidzster making a mistake, I think. So Bidzster making another little mistake in that car. So quite quick in practice, but obviously not as quick now, as Arzadar's got Stevie right behind him in the carrot car, as we like to call it, because it looks like a carrot on wheels. So yep, so Team Carrot, which is Stevie and Callum. And back behind we've got Blake and Andrea, the two teammates very close, but Arzadar and Stevie very close down here as well. Arzadar is the man in front just ever so slightly as we go around this corner here. This is where it could be won or lost, as Arzadar goes very wide. In fact, he goes too wide. Stevie's going to go through here, but he's going to go wide and hit the wall there. Yes, he is. That's going to lose him time, but he got through anyway. So Stevie gains a place at Arzadar's demise as Spapper then with Callum just behind him there on the straight, so really picking up the speed on the straight here. As you look to Arzadar Blade in the draft of Stevie, and just goes straight through. It's like Stevie will let him through. So really big overspeed there, so Stevie must have missed a gear or something, or made a mistake, because it's not like him to slow down that much. So there's Bradders at the back. He's really struggling, but obviously he's still getting used to his new wheel, and he's actually got the conditions to get used to his wheel this time, because it's not a monsoon conditions in Belgium. It's actually nice weather. So, because it was at Zolder last week, and it absolutely poured it down. As you just check the videos, guys, and you'll be able to see that one. That was quite an entertaining race, more of a battle of survival. But the conditions are nice and clear now. And we've got the old Spa, the really fast-flowing 1967 Spa-Francorchamps. Really nice track. And brilliant to watch the cars go round, and obviously the hats off to the drivers that race around here back in the day. And also I'd just like to note as well a special announcement that obviously Nicky Lauda in this last week has passed away, so rest in peace, Nicky. You are in our thoughts, and even though we are sim racers, we do like to emulate these older racing cars, and Nicky Lauda, you were an inspiration to us all, so we miss you, mate. So on with the race then, guys. Spapper in front of Callum, keeping him just in front. Spapper keeping it just in front of Callum into this corner, very close with the wall. Spapper playing daredevil with the wall there, and just about holding on to the position, but Callum's right behind him now. Could he go for a move into last horse? So up and over the left hand, up and over the hill, and then onto the brakes hard from 170 miles an hour to about 50. Into the corner, Spapper runs a bit wide. Callum could get a better run, but he runs wide also, so not quite able to take advantage yet. Cyrex, meanwhile, 7 seconds in the lead from Neil Farmack, who's there in second. So it's currently that Cyrex and Neil running a 1-2 for their team. And Bidzster in third, Spapper in fourth ahead of Callum now. So obviously, well, Callum's still trying to keep with Spapper, sorry. As Arzadar Blade back here, he's in sixth place. He's got Blakeney behind, and he's not really closing in Blake too much, but there's Stevie in 8th. Andrea in 9th, so Andrea having a little go at Stevie here, so this is a nice little battle. He's in the draft, going down the sort of the Kemmel curves, not the Kemmel straight, but it's very curvy back in the day. He's flowed with the forest, through the R&M forest, and onto the brakes, into the Kemmel corner. To the corner, Stevie goes a bit wide, but just hangs onto the car. You can see the car squirming there at the top of the picture. Now coming through down the hill, Andrea right behind his gearbox, practically changing gear for him as we go down the hill. And they're catching up to the other cars as well, because they're in the draft of each other, so they're going to be a bit faster. So Blake's going to have to watch his mirrors here. Andrea looks to the inside, but no way through yet as we go around the banked right-hander. Really fast average speed at Spa. Even the old cars used to average 140 mile an hour around this track, so really fast trackers. Stevie goes off there, it's going to compromise his line as Andrea says, I'll follow you, mate, but still he's got some good overspeed here. Oh, he has to back off just before he hits the back of him, so he'll have to tuck into the draft again. Really close stuff, this. Oh, past the houses, look how close they are to the houses, it's incredible. 170 mile an hour past a house. You make a mistake, you go into you'll not just be able to go through the wall, you'll end up going in straight through the other side of the wall as well, and through the whole house. So yep, really close stuff. Really fast average speed, flat out through this little chicane bit, flat out, 180 mile an hour down the hill, peaking the rev limiter just at the bottom. Andrea catching up to his teammate now. Close, close, close. Down the hill, you can hear them buzzing on the limiter. Really, really fast-paced stuff, incredible. It was a pleasure to drive these cars as well as the teammates make contact. Andrea hits Blakeney from behind. Oh wow, that was not good, but Andrea might be under investigation for that. So I know it was teammate contact, but still, could be under investigation for that. So yep, we'll get a different angle on that. Okay, here's the replay of the Andrea and Blakeney incident on board with Andrea. So going down here, watch this, going down here, going round. Blakeney slows down now, Andrea doesn't react in time, then does hit him, and then continues, so that could be a penalty. So as we come back from that then, we go to still watch Andrea because he's catching up to Arzadar. But we'll just have a quick look at Bidzster and Spapper. So closing up. Bidzster closing up to Spapper here, just looking out. I was looking at the gap and just having a look at the gaps and that, but Spapper just ahead. Oh, runs a bit wide, and Bidzster's going to take advantage here. Runs onto the grass. Bidzster right behind him, then looking for a way through. Coming up to the left-hander. This is not usually an overtaking spot, but Bidzster's going to have a go. Straight over the top and through. Brilliant move. You never see a move done there. You usually wait for the hairpin, but look at how the nose pitches down on the brakes. Stop for the corner. First gear. And slide the car out the corner. Brilliant move there from Bidzster. Spapper couldn't really do anything about that. But here's Arzadar with TY closed up behind, so TY on the move here as well. TY on the move. Trying to catch up to Arzadar after a bit of a torrid start for TY, but getting there in the end as he gets on the power. Arzadar gets on the power as well, down towards the start finish, which was obviously after last horse in the past. It's still to the GT boys, but look, open pit lane, short run down, up over the little bridge at Eau Rouge, and up Eau Rouge we go. TY eats wall, TY's into the wall, and has he gone round? Yes he has, he's gone round, he reverses off the line, because he sees that Stevie's coming up the hill, sensible stuff, and he's trying to get a gear. There he goes, and he rejoins, so there's Stacker a bit further back, he's still trying to get used to this car. But meanwhile, back with the leader, Cyrex, 10 seconds ahead. Absolutely brilliant driving here, showing us all how it's done in these older cars. Cyrex, obviously don't forget to follow his own YouTube channel as well, guys. He has his own YouTube channel, so same as the PSN, Cyrex. But really has some really good content on there, so don't forget to check him out, guys. And he's obviously leading this race by 10 seconds, and Neil Farmack 10 seconds behind the leader, but still 5 seconds in front of Bidzster, who's trying to catch up with Spapper. Oh, Spapper's made a mistake there. Spapper hits the wall, so we came to that a bit late, but I would imagine he just got a tank stopper coming down the hill, but Spapper continues in 4th place. Meanwhile, Callum in 5th, where he is, there he is. Callum in 5th, Andrea in 6th, and then we've got Blakeney there in 7th, Arzadar in 8th. He was going a bit slow there, so he must have made a mistake somewhere coming out of there. And then we've got a few cars further back, so a little bit more spread out now, but again, still really good track to race round. One mistake could change all your positions. So there's Stacker in 10th, he's slightly catching up to TY, but TY did make a mistake earlier. So there goes TY through in 11th place. There's a little helicopter cam. So Andrea now trying to catch up to Callum, so he's not doing a bad job, but obviously still under investigation from hitting his teammate earlier. But still going on strong. Round the bank curve, bring it in, full power, brilliant stuff here. In fact, he's catching up to Callum at quite a fast rate here, so definitely got the confidence in the car. Just didn't start far enough forward on the grid, I don't think, and got caught up in all the first lap incidents. So you can see all the cars parked there, and I do love old school racing, and I do wish I was actually born in the sort of 40s, 50s, 60s, because then racing really got good in the 70s, 80s, and 60s, 70s, 80s. The racing was brilliant because it was all, you had to have some real, to quote James Hunt, balls to actually do this kind of racing. And obviously, you didn't usually know if you were coming home that evening, because it was really, really dangerous. And obviously, I know they say motorsport is dangerous, but back here motorsport was insanely dangerous. But that's why I love it. It's the whole love of taking the risks and going for it and getting the maximum out of the car you can and going as fast as you can. And Andrea's doing that. He's catching up to Callum, really, really closing now. And just look at that time. Cyrex on the top left of the screen, you got 3:28.6 for Cyrex, but Bidzster that last time round a 3:27.6, so still fastest lap for Bidzster so far. But we'll have to see what's going to happen here as Andrea and Callum both get quite aggressive on the power out of the corner and then power down towards Eau Rouge. But here's Cyrex on his last lap, 12 seconds ahead of Neil now, so roughly 2 seconds a lap pulling away. Really, really good stuff here by Cyrex. Neil being caught by Bidzster. So Neil being caught by Bidzster here, so Bidzster putting his foot down, finally got used to the car, and now he's catching Neil Farmack for 2nd place, so we'll keep an eye on that towards the end of the race as well, as Andrea then 1 second behind Callum, so battle's starting to form in this last bit of the race. So through the left-hander, through Kemmel Corner, and down the hill. I think Callum ran a bit wide there, but Andrea gets in the draft, catches up. Will he go for a move down the hill? Not sure if he's going to be close enough yet, but we'll have to see. And over the top, little rise. Andrea's going for it on the inside, but then decides to back out of it, so the front end of the car nose down. So that means he braked, just backed out of it, just trying to put Callum off a little bit, but we'll have to see later on. But meanwhile, the battle for 2nd is well and truly on. There's Neil Farmack in the white car, there's Bidzster in the red car. Through the shot. I've got to put the little gun. I've got to put the gun cup with all the other controls on, guys, because you've got to try and go through the field. But I do wish the playback controls would disappear, and then you could keep the little display at the top and at the top left. But I do wish you could get rid of the playback controls at the bottom, but just go through the different drivers. But hey ho, hopefully they learn the lesson for Project Cars 3 as Bidzster gets a good run then in the draft, down the hill, side by side, last lap, side by side down towards the top bottom corner, and Bidzster's done him. Bidzster's absolutely done him here, through past the advertisements, and then down onto the next bit. Neil will have the draft now, coming back down towards the start finish line now, back on the back straight. Really, really trying to get the most out of these cars, these two. Neil closing in the draft, but will it be close enough towards the end of the lap? I don't know. But Bidzster so far in second place. Neil trying to keep up to him. Can't quite make a move yet, but he's closing. And just to fuel the anticipation a bit more, let's look at Andrea and Callum. Callum and Andrea still very close there. They're about the same gap as Neil and Bidzster, but Neil pulls out side by side with Bidzster then towards the last few corners. Bidzster in the red car on the right of your picture, and Neil goes through. Neil gets it into the next corner. Bidzster's going to have to pull one hell of a move here to try and get Neil, but he gets a good run out of there as well. Will he go for a move down here? But meanwhile, where Cyrex is at the last corner, let's just watch this battle through here. And Bidzster's on the inside. And he goes through, and Neil has to hit the wall. And Bidzster gets a bit out of control as well. But Cyrex wins the race. Well done to Cyrex. But let's just focus on this battle for a second. Bidzster goes round the outside of Neil, and he gets to position. Brave stuff from Neil and Bidzster. Brilliant racing, no contact. That's what you want to do. Cyrex has won the race. He's round here somewhere. Bidzster and Neil. Bidzster second, Neil third. There's your winner, Cyrex. But they're really close race between them two. Spapper's going to be fourth, and it's going to be Andrea and Callum for the next position. Andrea's got him. Andrea got Callum. We'll just get a replay on how that switched. Okay, here's a replay of the battle in Andrea and Callum. So on the last lap, so Andrea on the back straight goes past Callum into the chicane. Brave move there. Callum has to back off and lift off and let him go through. But then out the corner, Callum gets back in the draft, starts pulling him back. But Andrea must have lifted off there. He must have felt like he'd passed him on the grass or something, because he lifted off, or he must have missed a gear, one or another, because Andrea goes back and then Callum takes back the position. And then going around this long corner, this is where Andrea's very good. Andrea's very good around here, carries a lot of speed, and then goes right back up to the back of Callum, and we'll just get a replay later on of how he passed him back. Okay, here's a replay of how Andrea passed Callum then. So this is the actual pass. So he just drafts him down the straight, moves out, and goes past him on the draft, and then pulls back in just before the next corner, and he's just slightly ahead, which then gives him enough of an advantage to actually keep the position. So as we come back from that then, Andrea gets 5th, Callum gets 6th place, Spapper finished 4th by the way, just further in front. Blakeney and RZR into the last few corners, so it's going to be Blakeney from RZR. There's Blakeney going across the line there, and then RZR Blade in 8th place. Stevie around here at the hairpin somewhere. There he is. Stevie at the hairpin goes round down the hill. 9th place for the Carrot. So 9th place for Stevie. Meanwhile, Stacker and TY still having a nice little battle towards the end. Remember, these two are teammates. Stacker goes a bit wide, TY gets his foot down, but I think Stacker's going to finish in front. Stacker's going to get 10th place. Well done to Stacker there, he finishes in 10th, TY 11th, and Bradders is going to finish off the race in 12th. So let's get those results confirmed for you now, guys. Okay guys, here's the results from that one then. So Cyrex takes the win in that one by 13 seconds from Bidzster. Well done to him. So Bidzster in 2nd, Neil in 3rd position, Spapper finishes in 4th, Callum gets 5th, just ahead of Andrea as we go over the page. Then it's Blakeney in 6th, and then it's RZR in 8th, Stevie finishes in 9th, Stacker in 10th for the last point, and then TY and Bradders 11th and 12th, who unfortunately don't score. So as we come back from that then, there is your winner, Cyrex. Well done to Cyrex in the white car there. 1-3 for his team with Neil in 3rd. So well done to him. And we will see you guys for race 2. Take care, guys.